have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, wherever you are in the world, when you hit that play button. So glad you did. This is Dr. Cause, in effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina, coming at you with another episode of the Genesis frequency. Yes, indeed, we are about whole life prosperity for the individual, for the small business owner, for those on a corporate team, anywhere on the corporate team, from the C-suite executive to the frontline workers, anywhere, anyone looking to create more, to move into a greater, grander version of themselves. You're in the right place at the right time. We're wrapping up the 5th year here of the Genesis frequency, all about personal, professional, and leadership development. And it's always, the show's always about, some nugget that can help you move from where you are to where you want to be. And I took a deep dive focus this year, starting, I don't know, a couple months ago, with a really lasered focus on what do you want in the year ahead. And it doesn't matter if you're brand new to this show or what time of year you're listening to this particular episode. You have time in front of you, right? You have the next month, you have the next 12 months, whatever it is. So don't think that, hey, I'm listening to this show, it's the middle of the year, but you're talking about end of year stuff. No, it's not like that. It's what do you want to experience next in your life? What is it that perhaps has eluded you and has not been something you've been able to accomplish, but you really, really want? And that's what we take a look at, these nuggets that can help move us along. A couple months ago, several episodes ago, I gave you a process. Hey, let's start doing this now. Let's start getting ready now. Because as I record this show, we only have about, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks left in the year. Not even that. It's about 6 weeks probably left in the current year where I'm recording this. And we don't want to wait till New Year's Eve when we grab a pen and a napkin and scribble on a bar napkin somewhere, resolutions or what we want to accomplish in the year ahead, because, that fades away. That dissolves fairly quickly. We have to be strategic as we make some choices and decisions about what we want to experience. So I suggest you go back several episodes and listen to those. Listen to the episodes dated August and September listen to all of them. They're all good. I get comments and notes all the time telling me, "Hey, I grabbed this one nugget out of here, and that is what I needed to break through." So go back to August, September of 2023, and listen to some of those to get you started moving in the direction now that you want to move in for the year ahead. So we did all that. We did all that groundwork. We did all the basic work. We did all the goal planning stuff and how we put all that together and getting in the right mindset. And I want to keep taking a deeper dive. Last episode, I shared several nuggets from a book titled Master Key System from Charles Hannell. It's a book I used when I wrote my dissertation. I got my doctorate as a holistic life coach, and I did doctorate, my dissertation on the power of visualization, the power of our subconscious mind, that kind of thing. And there was a lot of material in here I referred to. And it's so good. And it's not one of those books that it's really popular, but it's one of those books that recently fell off the shelf for me. And, I pay attention to things like that. I pay attention. I'm one of those that believes, hey, the universe is always speaking to me in ways I can't possibly ignore, right? I have to pay attention though. We all have to pay attention. Hey, what's the message in this? What I do being a metaphysician is all about how does this work? How do we get to the effect we want? And when we do that by looking at the cause, right? Cause and effect. We live in a cause and effect universe. It's one of the primary laws, the laws of cause and effect, a law that precedes the law of attraction, right? We have to get the cause for everything in our life to determine the effect. Why did this happen? Well, let's go back to cause. What do we want to show up? Well, let's make sure we're at cause in the beginning, deliberately and intentionally creating where in mind, using our thoughts, creating the life we would love to live. So that's a snapshot of what we started talking about and some of what we were doing last week when we started talking about, hey, we got to go back to mind. We got to go to mind. We have to go to thought, right? And all this, whatever it is we want, and it doesn't matter what you want. Dream big dreams now, right? It's got to be something that excites you and scares you at the same time and is so outrageous you have no idea how you could possibly experience that or have that, be that, or do that in your life. That's what you want to go for. And then we want to chunk it down. We want to break it into bite-sized pieces, right? But we're talking about going within because that's where we do it. So many individuals, businesses, small businesses, people in the corporate environment look at the results. They stand around, they'll form a team and huddle over the results. Like I always refer to it, a puddle on the ground or a hole in the ground they keep falling into or tripping over, stepping into, getting wet, right? They're all huddled around this situation, this circumstance, this event, this result that's showing up and it's showing up over and over again. And they're looking at it, they're kicking it around, they're drawing pictures of it on the board, they're calling people in there, they're trying to find out who's to blame, pointing the fingers instead of looking in the mirror. Get out of the result. Get out of the energy of the result. Get out of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Go back to cause. What is cause? Cause is found in mind. Where do we find it in mind? We find it in mind with our thoughts. It's always the same formula. Thoughts plus feelings plus actions equals results when we break it down to the basic stuff. To share from Charles Hannell and this work here, I'm going to pick up with a couple points that really made sense for what we're talking about here in part one of his book. He says, and this is really a continuation of last week, there is a world within, a world of thought and feeling and power, of light and life and beauty, and, although invisible, its forces are mighty. So he's talking about where do we apprehend power? Where do we apprehend power to make change? And the only way which we may secure really and know have move into the knowing of power is become consciously aware that this power is within us, that it's within, and it's only within, right? So the world within our land of cause, our land or field of infinite potential is within us. Same thing for a small business, same thing for a corporation. I'm speaking to anybody, personally and professionally. This is where it is. He continues in the next point. He says, the world within is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find the solution for every problem, the cause for every effect. And since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power and possession are also within our control. How powerful is that? Just to know that, just to apprehend that, just to have the knowledge of the fact that the world within is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find the solution for every problem. the cause for every effect. And since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power and possession are also within our control. So there we have it, right? This couple sentences says so much. The power is within us, but then the solutions are within us. The answer to the problem can be found within us. The world within is governed by mind, and everything that shows up as an effect, as a result in our world and in our experience, all starts with mind. Every effect, it says, every effect, and it's subject to our control. Why? Because we can choose the thoughts we think. And we have this connection point, right? If we sit there and we're banging ourselves on the head and say, I don't know, I don't have the answers. You got to have a more smarter mind than mine. Well, maybe so. But we have the subconscious mind, which many, many brilliant minds and philosophers since the beginning of time has told us. In fact, in Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill, he says, I really believe, and I dare not go there, but I really believe the subconscious mind is our connecting point to infinite intelligence. Wow. Pretty profound. So what does that mean though? What does that mean for us? Well, instead of banging our fist against the wall and slamming our head against our hand against our head saying, I don't know what the answer. We ask. If everything is within, if all the solutions to every problem can be found within, and since they're within our control, and all laws of power and possession are also within and within our control, when we simply ask, that's how we deliver the question to the subconscious mind. Hey, I need an answer for this. It's not front and center in my conscious awareness, but it's in there. It's in that place where we have that connecting point with infinite mind, infinite intelligence. I really believe we're all, you can look at mind as our mind that we get by with every day as unconscious competence, so to speak. You often hear me say, but there is a much, a bigger infinite mind, uppercase M, if you will, all that is, and we are connected with that. So in that connection, we can find the answers, we can find the solutions, we can move through problems, we can get to the results that we want to show up. Listen to Charles some more here. He says, the next point says, the world without, meaning the world outside of us, is a reflection of the world within. What appears without is what has been found within. In the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite supply of all that is necessary, waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression. If we recognize these potentialities in the world within, they will take form in the world without. So, can you see the potential? If you can create it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. You can design it. You can be the architect, the designer of all that you wish to experience in your world. You hold it in your mind. You have the desires that perhaps have been lying dormant for a long, 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 long time. But perhaps within those desires, you'll find your satisfaction for life and living. In those desires, perhaps your true calling, your mission, your purpose, that that you must explore, that you must move into manifestation. The life that you are called to create lies within those desires. And that's what this little point here is talking about. The world without is a reflection of the world within. So if you don't like what's showing up, you don't like the experience and the results that you're currently immersed in or experiencing, you can trace it all back to cause. and realize, hey, this is a reflection of what I've been thinking. They, let's do that right now. What are you thinking about? What's showing up that you don't like? What's showing up as your results and your experience that you're really unhappy with? So now go all the way back to cause and say, well, what have I been thinking? What have been my dominant thoughts lately or maybe for a long time before just recently? What have been my dominant thoughts all my life? Right? What are some of the things I believe in? What are my beliefs? Where did those beliefs come from? Are they my beliefs or did I just get them from somebody else and say, yeah, I'll believe that? And so we trace everything back to thought because the world that we're experiencing, the world without, is a reflection of the world within. So flip this around. If you want different results, different experiences, you have to change your dominant thoughts. So we do that by creating within us, using the canvas of our mind, using the power of our imagination. We get busy at once designing and deliberately creating the life we would love to live. What are the results we do want to experience? And when we start to do this, in the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite supply of all that is necessary, waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression. So everything we need is in there. Everything we need using the power of our imagination is right there at our beck and call, right? We can design it. We don't have to wait for anything. Now, maybe we don't know how this is going to move from the invisible world of non form into the visible world of form, but the how is really none of our business because the infinite wisdom, the infinite power, the infinite supply, everything that is necessary is there, is waiting for unfoldment, will rush in. As it really already has, maybe in a negative way to support your dominant thoughts and what you don't want. It's done this. You've already proved it. You already proved that this is how it works, right? But maybe it's in a negative way. Now we're just flipping it around. Another primary law is the law of polarity. We can flip this all over and have dominant thoughts that are centered in the energy and feeling of the life we would love to live. Next point, harmony in the world within will be reflected in the world without by harmonious conditions, agreeable surroundings, the best of everything. It is the foundation of health and the necessary essential to all greatness, all power, all attainment, all achievement, and all success. Isn't that why you're listening to this show? To experience maybe greatness, power, all attainment, all achievement, and success? It's all in there. And it starts with harmony. Harmony, what does that mean? Well, we have to be in alignment. We have to be in alignment in thought and word and action with the desires of our heart. We have to create this picture using the power of our imagination, be specific. What does it look like? What does this world look like? What does our small business look like? What does our corporate environment and culture look like? What are the goals I want to experience and accomplish? What is the achievement that I'm pursuing? Right? We have to be in alignment. Our thoughts have to be in alignment with it. We can't design the picture and then not be in harmony with it. Being art of harmony, when you hear a great musical group or choir singing harmony, it's just beautiful. But if they're not in harmony, it's a cacophony of sound. It's discordant. It's really, actually, you get kind of irritated listening to it, right? Well, it's the same thing with our thought. We can't design, be in that space, great attitude. We do this work. We get quiet. We go to our secret place within and we design this world that we would love to live in, the love to experience, the results we want to have. Then we can't be practicing counterintuitive thoughts, words, and actions, right? So we designed it. We used our power of our imagination, but what are the words we speaking? Yeah, that'll never happen for me. Yeah, maybe for somebody else. I'm not smart enough. This guy in the podcast says you don't have to know how. Well, I have no idea how, so it's not going to happen for me. We start talking ourselves out of the world we just designed for ourselves. We're not in harmony with it. We have to be in harmony in thought. Every thought has to be supportive of the dream. You don't have to know how every step of the way, but you have to be open and receptive to the inspiration that will drop in and support the energy you have given to the dream. So your thoughts have to be in alignment with it, not counterproductive, not counterintuitive. Every thought you have should be supportive of the ideal that you have created on the canvas of your mind. All your words that you speak should be in alignment with the energy of the dream, the vision, the end goal, right? Everything needs to be in alignment and harmony. Your actions have to be in alignment. You've already created it, so it's real, right? So the actions you take, you should be walking in the energy of the dream fulfilled, the wish fulfilled, the result fulfilled. The energy as if it's, our subconscious mind only knows this present moment of now. So you have to be in alignment. You have to work in harmony with all these things. We'll pick up on some of these points, talking more about harmony, talking more about the world within and the infinite potential that we find in there. This is good stuff. This is setting you up for what's next for you in your life as a individual, small business owner in the corporate environment, and I know that people work on several different things in their lives. At the top of the list is the finances and money and time and money freedom. And then the relationships, maybe finding that significant other, health and physical fitness, usually in those three areas. I like to use the wheel, go back a few episodes and look at whole life and 6, 7 different areas of our lives. But we're running out of time for this show. In fact, we are out of time for this show. We'll pick it up again next week. And I want to invite you to reach out to me if you need help with any of this, especially in the corporate space. You're working on leadership development. This is so needed right now. Where's our next group of leaders going to come from? So many companies are not doing leadership development. They're not teaching this in a professional way, training their individuals in a professional way where they can apprehend this, put it to use right away, day after day, week after week, and see results. I do that in the corporate environment. I come in and do training. We do training, guarantee results, improve performance and productivity right away. If you're just working on something for you, hey, reach out. In any case, let's talk. Let's have a discussion about what's going on in your world and your life and where you want to go, why you're stuck. Successappointment.com gets you on my calendar. Successappointment.com. Not a capture page, not a website, just a calendar. Opens up in your time zone, successappointment.com. Let's talk. Let's get started right now. Hey, we have a showcase program coming up where you can experience the power of personal productivity training and see if it's right for your organization. We have that coming up very soon. So reach out. Let's have a conversation about all of this, successappointment.com. For now, that's going to do it. And that's going to do it for this episode. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency. And this is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina, wishing you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.